The Hyksos were a mixed group of Asiatic people from Western Asia who took over the eastern Nile Delta, ending the 13th Dynasty of Egypt and initiating the Second Intermediate Period. Important Canaan populations first appeared in Egypt towards the end of the 12th Dynasty c. 1800 BC, and either around that time or c. 1720 BC, formed an independent realm in the eastern Nile Delta. The Canaanite rulers of the Delta, regrouped in the 14th Dynasty, coexisted with the Egyptian 13th Dynasty, based in Itjtawy. The power of the 13th and 14th dynasties progressively waned, perhaps due to famine and plague, and c. 1650 BC both were invaded by the Hyksos, who formed their own dynasty, the 15th Dynasty. The collapse of the 13th Dynasty created a power vacuum in the south, which may have led to the rise of the 16th Dynasty, based in Thebes, and possibly of a local dynasty in Abydos. Both were eventually conquered by the Hyksos, albeit for a short time in the case of Thebes. From then on, the 17th Dynasty took control of Thebes and reigned for some time in peaceful coexistence with the Hyksos kings, perhaps as their vassals. Eventually, Second Itjtawy, Chamos and Amos waged war against the Hyksos and expelled Canaan, their last king. From Egypt c. 1550 BC the Hyksos practiced horse burials, and their chief deity, their native storm god, the West Semitic Baal, became associated with the Egyptian storm and desert god, Seth. The Hyksos were a people of mixed Asiatic origin with mainly Semitic components. Although some scholars have suggested that the Hyksos contained a Hurrian component, this possibility has been dismissed by most other scholars. The Hurrians spoke an isolated language, but were under Indo-European rule and influence, and Hurrian etymologies have been suggested for some Hyksos names while Indo-European etymologies have been suggested for a very few names. If a Hurrian component did indeed exist among the Hyksos, an Indo-European component is difficult to explain, as Indo-European peoples only became a significant influence upon Hurrians in Syria after the Hyksos were well established in Egypt.